All right. Let's do this. There we go. Now, where's that button? There we are. Let's go. Let's go. We back, baby. Feeling a lot better than what I was yesterday. Uh, I know that broke uh the uh the stream streak because I was going to go for hopefully streaming every day for the month. But as you guys could tell, that I was feeling a little under the weather. I really wasn't doing so well, and everything health wise for yesterday. What is this? And I didn't have the energy for it there. My throat's still a little itchy, scratchy type deal, whatever the heck you want to put it there. But yeah, yesterday was not good for me. I woke up to go to work, wasn't feeling well, ended up, you know, that into my bathtub, and then went to my normal day job. Granted, once I went bleh, uh, I did start to feel a little bit better. You know, like it was like once it was out of my system and everything, my body's like, okay, maybe we're cool. We're cool. Maybe we'll see how it goes. Uh, but I stayed hydrated. I was drinking fluids and stuff. I ate a little bit, but not much. So when I got home, I was like, I gotta just chill out for a little bit, relax, get some much needed sleep because it did take a little bit out of me the past couple days before I ended up going bleh. Um, so yeah, I'm a lot better right now. Still dealing with, I've been sneezing a lot now. I've sneezed probably like 10, 15 times a day, which is a rarity because usually if I start sneezing, it's due to something with my allergies because I have seasonal allergies and I've had that stuff for years and I hate it. But that or extreme dust, and there was nothing that happened in the past couple days would cause to set it off. So I'm thinking it's starting to leave my body, which is awesome. But I think it might still be a little bit. So you'll hear me sniffling here throughout stream and stuff like that, and that's basically the reason because I'm still getting over getting sick hopefully, or it's the calm before the storm. And if it's calm before the storm, then I'm going to be out for a couple days. But but that's enough talk on me. I hope everyone's having a fantastic day today. I did have a good day at work. To a point, I basically got paid to just sit there. Sales wise, not really good, but I basically got paid to kind of sit on my butt all day. So it wasn't bad, but it wasn't good. You know what I mean? Um, but we are. I found the game that we're playing. It was a free game on PlayStation. So if you have PlayStation Plus, it's the free game for the month. It's called the Stanley Parable, and it looks like it's a cool puzzle game, but set in the office setting. So I figured that would be pretty cool as kind of a almost of a chill kind of way, but also make our brains work. So that is what we're playing today, and it's supposed to be really fun. And we're gonna try it out. I'm excited. I'd have to turn my screen over so I can see. Just boot it up, and then what you got? And let's I can hear. Please choose a screen. We'll do English. Do some subtitles. Oh, confirm. I know we had to go confirm. How go to 80? Yeah, that sounds about right. 77. Okay. So the computer is barely visible. That's barely visible. Current time. It's 8:07. We'll just do 8:08. Buy ourselves a little. Okay. Not bad, not bad. Whoa, that's even cool if you look on the desktop in the background. Let's do a high FOV. Let's do like an 85. Color labels. Yep. Oh. I'm not sure. Let's see. Well, let's do. Oh, that's my mouse. That's not gonna. Yeah, we'll show the content warnings for that. I thought I meant just like take it off completely. Color labels. Enables translated labels on top of the in-world. Yeah, so that way we can at least see what it's supposed to be. And then yeah, we'll definitely have the content warning. Hey, what the heck is this game about? It's supposed to be a fun little puzzle game. Never the end is never the end. What?
This is the story of a man named Stanley.
Buckle in, chat.
Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year.
Why does it sound like the start of a
Christmas
Christmas movie?
Considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job.
Sounds like the narrator off of Ted.
Happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Okay. Well, this is cool. Your typical office setting. We got a cool little computer. 427. Coffee. Okay, I can't pick nothing up. Alright. Where is everybody? No one here. Where's my new assistant? Frank! My new assistant was supposed to be here.
Were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Yeah, that's what it was. Perhaps we missed a memo. Okay. Ah, the sun's bright today. Okay. Hello? Guys, if this is my birthday surprise party, I told you I don't like surprises. Hello?
Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office, but it didn't make a single difference, nor did it advance the story in any way.
Oh yeah? What's on this computer? Whoops. I hope he backed up his files. What's this? Does this say anything about the memo? Shit. Well. Maybe here? Oh. Okay, so they're renovating Steve's office. Where is the management room again? The meeting room? Is this the meeting room? That's gotta be the meeting room. That's a whiteboard. Okay.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Maybe I don't want to go in the door to my left. Maybe I want to go to the door on the right. Yeah, I'm gonna go through the door on the right.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Yeah, the employee lounge. You know, I gotta make sure everyone's got their coffee and stuff for the meeting room. Stop there. Bring some... It's a meeting room. Yeah, see snacks.
Ah, yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in.
I mean, this is a pretty cool break room, if I do say so myself.
Yes. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Doesn't look like the meeting room, though. What do we do here? Don't lie. If you are lying right now, stop. True. This is cool.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Alright, listen here. Whoever's on the intercom. We loop back around. I doubt everyone's... Holy shnikes, that's a drop. That's a drop. Y'all seeing this, though? Oh. Also, do not jump from the cargo lift while motion will cause death. Penalty for misuse of cargo lift, $1,000. Penalty for jumping off the cargo lift, $5,000.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her.
Who's her?
This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself. To put your work aside. To let her back into your life. She's been waiting.
Okay. Oh, Jesus.
That's her, Stanley. You need to be the one to do this. To reach out to her. If you can truly place your faith in another, then pick up the phone.
I don't know why I jumped. Don't ask why I jumped.
Oh, Stanley, is that you? Hold on, sweetie. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm just pulling the bread out of the oven. All right. Okay, there we go. All right, now, I want you to come in and tell me all about your day.
Gotcha. Oh, come on. Did you actually think you had a loving wife who'd want to commit their life to you? I'm trying to make a point here, Stanley. I'm trying to get you to see something. Come inside. Let me show you what's really going on here.
Alright, listen here, you piece of shit. You better tell me what's going on here. I don't like being played with. Don't you fucking
This is a
move.
very sad story about the death of a man named Stanley.
Wait, I'm dead?
Stanley is quite a boring fellow. He has a job that demands nothing of him, and every button that he pushes is a reminder of the inconsequential nature of his existence.
I don't want to push the button. Oh, no, I want out. I want to push a button.
Look at him there, pushing buttons, doing exactly what he's told to do. Now he's pushing a button. Now he's eating lunch. Now he's going home. Now he's coming back to work. One might even feel sorry for him, except that he's chosen this life.
No, I don't. I want out of here. Oh, we can crouch? Okay, let's go.
But in his mind, in his mind he can go on fantastic adventures. From behind his desk, Stanley dreamed of wild expeditions into the unknown, fantastic discoveries of new lands. It was wonderful, and each day that he returned to work was a reminder that none of it would ever happen to him.
Oh, I can watch TV now?
And so he began to fantasize about his own job. First, he
What?
imagined that one day while at work,
Hey, yo,
he
give me
stepped
back
up
my
from his
TVA.
desk to realize
That was
that all of his
expensive.
co-workers, his boss, everyone in the building had suddenly vanished off the face of the earth. The thought excited him terribly. So he went further. He imagined that he came to two open doors and that he could go through either. At last, choice. It barely even mattered what lay behind each door. The mere thought that his decisions would mean something was almost too wonderful to behold.
Wait, listen here, you. I was supposed to go spend time with the boys. They took my TV. I don't like it here.
As he wandered through this fantasy world, he began to fill it with many possible paths and destinations. Down one path lay an enormous round room with monitors and mind controls. And down another was a yellow line that weaved in many directions. And down another was a game with a baby. And he called it the Stanley Parable.
Please press circle to tell a kid's story. Okay.
It was such a wonderful fantasy, and so in his head he relived it again, and then again, and again, over and over, wishing beyond hope that it would never end, that he might always feel this free. Surely there's an answer down some new path, mustn't there be? Perhaps if he played just one more time. But there is no answer. How could there possibly be?
Bro.
In reality, all he's doing is pushing the same buttons he always has. Nothing has changed. The longer he spends here, the more invested he gets, the more he forgets which life is the real one.
My bed's gonna disappear.
And I'm trying to tell him this, that in this world he can never be anything but an observer, that as long as he remains here, he's slowly killing himself. But he won't listen to me. He won't stop. Here, watch this. Stanley, the next time the screen asks you to push a button, do not do it. You see? Can he just not hear me? How can I tell him in a way that he'll understand that every second he remains here, he's electing to kill himself? How can I get him to see what I see? How can I make him look at himself? I suppose I can't, not in the way I want him to. But I don't make the rules. I simply play to my intended purpose, the same as Stanley. We're not so different, I suppose. I'll try once more to convey all this to him. I'm compelled to. I must. Perhaps, well, maybe this time he'll see. Maybe this time. And I tried again. And Stanley
Please die.
pushed a button. And I tried again. And Stanley pushed a button. And I tried.
Uh-oh. Wait a minute. What just happened?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Okay, let's do what this voice tells us to do.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Okay. Aha, the meeting room.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief,
Tips for not getting
Stanley decided to
fired.
go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Let it ball up inside you. Take it out passive aggressively on other coworkers. Resent coworkers for not supporting you more. Using stats to ensure employees that everything is okay. What is this? What is hot? Profits, profits, profits. What do people want? Things, money, more money. Things, but with money to buy more things. Graphs. Graphs about things and movies. All in money. We have our own new product. Bi-quarterly post review. We need more or less reviews. 402 plus 405 want to get rid of the death sport portion in the primary review schedule. But I think that's a stupid idea. More water coolers, cooler heaters. Charts need to be more hip to appeal to the teenage demographic. Find teenagers to put in teenage demographic. Big net, some sort of child trap, but they're not sure. Throw something in the ideas bin. Oh, recycle. No more bins or trash cans remaining. No, the ideal bin. Firing of me. Size of the demographic. Teenagers. Space between the teenagers. A lot of percent. I'm liking these whiteboards. To do. Synergize core value expenditures. Shift global marketing parade. Monetize free to play. What we got here? Targets. Push for funding for R&D of the new coffee machine. Okay. What was it? Standardized graphs 40% wide. Not cost efficient. Get Chris out of the broom closet. First of all, what's Chris doing in the broom closet? Is he okay? We don't know. Hire someone to sign or to synergize papers. I don't know why I thought the R was a parentheses. Papers are too synergized. Fire paper guy. Hire someone to fire the paper synergizing guy. And then who moved my desk? Who did it? Please keep the targets on the topic of... Oh. I'll still find out who moved my desk. Tomorrow, complete today's unfinished agenda items. Write next day agenda. Reflect. Employee 417, 405. And then you have Jim. Like Jim. Yeah. Alright, the meeting room, 4th floor. Do not alter without consulting whiteboard manager. Rest in peace, Franz. He was a good guy. He was at the office Christmas party. He brought donuts. Good guy. Group 42, group 47. Alright. Okay, so we got a whole thing here. What's on the... Your graphs. Tips for not getting fired. Talk less, don't get fired. Got it. Well, so-and-so's in the broom closet. Why is he stuck in the broom closet?
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track.
Huh.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Oh, this the boss's office? Oh, this fancy. It's like a whole different place. I don't know why I jumped. Papers everywhere. This is nice. Fancy wallpapers. We got an elevator. Can we stay going up? Man, how far are we going up? Uh-oh. It's the same. Did we not go anywhere? Huh. What's over here? Oh, the executive bathroom. What? Because the boss knows that what the boss says goes, if the boss has suffered losses, then that's what the boss chose. Extreme bathroom! And then a Time magazine. Oh. It's a big window. I want no one see me pooping. Damn. Has it got 50-foot ceilings?
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled,
Bird's got a
Stanley wondered in
fireplace?
disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him? What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number. 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this. Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
Wait, this a movie set? Sorry about that. That sneeze. Muted real quick so you guys didn't hear it. What is this? Hello? Anybody? Oh, I don't want to go down the creepy elevator of doom. Oh, shoot. Oh, jeez.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Setting. I might have to turn that off. Mind control facility, then we have escape. Oh, snap, since I paused the... Oh man, I don't know what was said. This also feels like a trap. You see the smoke in there? There's no smoke in here. But... Oh, I don't know. Alright, we'll go in here.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
I kind of wish we would have went the escape route now. Cameras. Okay. Push the button.
Now the monitors
Oh,
jumped to life,
God.
their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and
Whoa.
Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
Now this is some next level security. No privacy though.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
Maybe.
No. He refused to believe it.
No.
He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable, wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world?
Maybe just a little. Well, now I don't know where we're at. We went up. We're gonna see what we can find now.
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
Yeah. Down with the establishment. Turn us all off. We'll push the big red button. Work. Oh, mind controls idle, waiting input. That's kind of cool. Big ass TV screen.
And when at last he found the source of the room's power, he knew it was his duty, his obligation, to put an end to this horrible place and to everything it stood for.
Now what happened?
Blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over?
Oh no, was it?
Yes. He had won.
Woohoo!
He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him. For it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door.
That's a big door.
Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
Oh yeah. Well, I got a feeling we're doing this all over again. Wait, we beat the game? Okay.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
New content.
Oh, new content? What does that mean, new content?
I just went because it said it on the door. Oh, no, 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 no. Oh, I can't jump. Where is it taking us? I mean, this is kind of cool.
Hello, and thank you for playing the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. As you may know, the Stanley Parable was a video game released in 2013 on home computers. After receiving critical and commercial success, it was expanded upon in 2022 with the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, a reimagining of the game for consoles and home computers. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe features exciting new content that broadens and expands the world of the Stanley Parable, delighting audiences the world over. Please, step inside and see what thrilling new adventures await in the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
Oh, well, this sounds delightful. I'm very excited to see the thrilling new Ultra Deluxe content.
Okay. The game is self-aware, and it's breaking fourth walls. I love it.
Okay, so far it's an elevator. Nothing special yet, but I'm sure it's just the beginning of a mesmerizing adventure. Is it broken? What's going on here? Should we be moving somewhere or... Oh,
Yeah.
there we go.
Okay,
All
there we
right,
go.
finally, at long last, it's on to the new content. I've
Oh.
never been more ready. Let's do it. I have to say, initial impressions of Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, mostly tedious. It's as if Oh, okay. Let's see the content. Give me the content, Stanley.
This looks like a jigsaw trap.
All right. All right, let's see. It's the jump circle.
Wonder what happens when we get to 0. That was it? Well, we ran out of jumps.
Is that it?
That's what I said.
Surely that's not all the new content. There has to be something else, right? Goodness, another elevator. Stanley, I have to say, initial impressions of this game are not positive.
I agree.
It's just elevators and jumping. Is this what passes for exciting new content? If this is
Apparently.
new content, then I could just read you the whole dictionary. There's
Please
20
don't.
hours of new content right there.
No.
Hell, I could counter 30 trillion. You could put that on the box. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, now with over 1,000 hours of new content. And oh, wait. There's more. Very good. Yes. I knew there had to be something else. Let's see it.
Can't
I'm
be
ready for whatever
something
it
cool.
is.
You gotta be
That's
shitting
it?
me.
Oh, you've got to be kidding me. You see, Stanley? This is what happens when greedy video game developers with no respect for their fan base rush a cheap expansion to market for no reason
Fucking
other than
facts.
to make an easy dollar. And don't get me started on the level of craftsmanship that's gone into it. In fact, I'm looking right now at the game's trophies, and it's hard to believe one of them actually says, "Test trophy, please ignore." What quality assurance department signed off on this? I'm infuriated and I'm offended, and
Me
I
too.
intend to find these people on Twitter and hold them personally accountable.
Oh
It's
shit, it
my
knows
fault,
about
Stanley.
Twitter.
I built up too much anticipation around the new content, I'm afraid. It could never have lived up to such expectations. If you're still with me, why don't we just reset the game, and we'll try to get back to what the Stanley Parable is really about. No frills, no gimmicks. Just you and me having a great time together like always. What do you say, friend?
Well, I didn't have no say in that. But wait a minute. We're in a new spot. What is this? In the behind the scenes?
Psst! Stanley! Come over here! In the vent! I want to show you something!
I want to see what's up here first.
Oh, you don't want to see the cool surprise I made for you? Well, fine. You're a dork anyway, so who cares?
Listen, you. Okay. Keep it up. Keep it up. Otherwise, we're going to have some talks.
Oh, never mind. You're not a dork.
Yeah, I'm super cool. You know, dork. Coffee note. Okay. What's that? What's that? Oh shit! Man, get my clothes dirty.
Okay, you remember how cheap and unsatisfying the new Ultra Deluxe content turned out to be? Well, it got me thinking about the past and how much better the Stanley Parable used to be. So I made something special and tucked it away here where the game's developers won't find it. Just our little secret. Take a look.
Oh wow. It's like Elden Ring. Whoa.
I call it the Memory Zone. It's where I've been storing all my favorite memories so I can relive the peak experiences of my life whenever I want. Experiences like the launch of the Stanley Parable on PC.
I didn't know this was a PC game to start with. It's kind of cool though.
You see, Stanley, doesn't the Memory Zone remind you of how wonderful Stanley Parable was before it was sullied with a cheap PlayStation port? Remember back in October of 2013?
Playing it on
when the game
PlayStation, thank
originally
you.
launched? Back then,
And
video games
was
had
free.
integrity. Back then, it all meant something. Oh, the waste.
Wait, what was this? Oh, the British Academy of Films and Television approved or to whatever The Last of Us for an extraordinary story, and they taped it out and put Stanley Parable. Zone Sweet Zone. Buy on pressurized gas. Down memory lane. Their first dollar. Is that a high-res photo of their actual first dollar? Holy crap, it is. This is trippy as fuck. Is this a game or a don't go outside, don't play for 5 years? Oh, go outside. Unachievable. It's impossible to get this achievement. This game said it was like a puzzle and everything else. I'm not seeing a puzzle thing. Debut game for the British Game Awards. Okay. Play. Stanley Parable deals tough choices. Los Angeles Times. Okay. What is this?
And over here is where I keep reviews of the Stanley Parable. Like this stunning triumph of games journalism. 10 out of 10 from Destructoid.com. James
Don't read
Stephanie
any
Sterling
reviews
writes,
except this
and I
one.
quote, "Where so many games that aspire to be more than games end up less than any form of art, Stanley Parable strives and then succeeds to be every game ever created." Did you hear that, Stanley? Every game ever created. That's how grand and all-encompassing the original Stanley Parable was. It was literally every game ever created. It was Skyrim, it was Persona 3, it was all of them, and now
Skyrim?
it's nothing. It's no games at all. It isn't even the Stanley Parable anymore. It's just a husk now. A lifeless husk with an hour of new elevator content.
Okay, the door opened and we got creepy music. I don't like that. Rezone maintenance. Okay. Oh, on-off switches. Here. Oh, them making the game. Okay. Original remake.
Here's another moving passage, this time from GameSpot.com. The Stanley Parable is both a richly stimulating commentary on the nature of choice in games and one that offers some of the most enjoyable, surprising, and rewarding choices I've ever been confronted with in a game. 9 out of 10. Don't you get it, Stanley? The game was perfect. It didn't need anything else. It didn't need new content. All they had to do was transport it in pristine condition along to the PlayStation, boom, done. And they couldn't even do that. Couldn't resist the urge to go meddling with a beloved franchise.
Open Sesame? Okay. Move some boxes. Oh, I can't jump.
These were simpler times, Stanley. But I wouldn't give to go back to have it all over again.
Oh. It's open.
Wait, hang on. I don't recall this part of the memory zone before. What's this? What's down here?
It's the maintenance room. Voice in my head. Holy, Left 4 Dead.
Oh no, oh God, no, Stanley. It's a collection of reviews from Pressurized Gas, the extremely popular online storefront for computer games. I haven't looked at these in years. I can't even imagine what's been collecting down here. Surely these reviews were glowing as well, weren't they? Honestly, I could not be bothered to play this game to full completion. The narrator is obnoxious and unfunny, with his humor and dialogue proving to be more irritating than entertaining. Unfunny! I'm not trying to be funny. I'm trying to make a serious work of art. I suppose I could write up a handful of gags to insert into the Stanley Parable, but the game is already such a densely layered web of profound philosophical insights
that's a lot of
that I can't even
reviews.
imagine where I'd have the room to stick them.
That will get dudes a little annoying though. I think he's built. Huh. good review. Here's another bad review.
Okay, let's see what this one says. While the idea for the game is good, for someone who prefers non-linear games, this preachiness gets annoying fast. Preachy? Stanley? I'm not preachy, am I? You can tell me if I'm preachy. Honestly, you can. Oh, goodness. This is actually quite shocking for me. I always, well, to be honest, I had always thought of the game's dialogue as being rather terse to begin with. You can't know how much fluff I cut from the game to get it to feel as light and airy as it... Well, I always thought it did. But maybe it wasn't. Oh dear. What an awful memory to have to hold on to. These black marks on my otherwise unimpeachable track record. I feel like a failure. Like I let these people down. Perhaps the Stanley Parable isn't quite as sterling as I always remembered.
Well, there's a bunch of bad reviews. Dry British humor. So far, not bad. Thought we was gonna be stuck in a time loop for the most part. What's this one?
What's this one got to say? You constantly have to stop doing anything so the narrator can catch up with his long-winded explanations of what's happening.
We just
I
did
wish
that.
there was a skip
We just
button.
fucking did that back there at the other one. We waited
A
till he
skip
got done
button.
talking.
Well, yes. Yes, I think we can do that. If I'm truly too preachy, then maybe letting you skip ahead for just a moment, surely it couldn't hurt. Not if it means we can strike these negative reviews from the record. Only positive reviews
fuck,
of the
fuck.
Stanley Parable. That's my motto today, and it's always been my motto. I'd do anything for the customer, Stanley. Yes, a skip button we shall have.
It's a skip button.
And here it is. Go ahead and give it a shot. Oh, you're back, you see. You were only frozen in time for a few minutes, but it was plenty of time for me to deliver a long, rambling monologue full of unnecessary...
I had to.
Well there, sport. You really did catch me rambling on a bit, didn't you? But that's the power of the button. The minute I start to go off on a thoughtless display of self-absorption, it's right at... Okay, welcome back, Stanley. Now, I should say that the amount of time the button has been skipping through is becoming longer and longer. That last one was, well, I want to say maybe 30, 45 minutes? It's not unendurable by any means, but it's, well, there's really only so much I can ramble on to myself about. I know, it's shocking, isn't it? But at any rate, I do suggest that we not press the button again. I think the skip button has been aptly demonstrated, and we can say goodbye to it and just... Wait. How do we get out of here? Where did the door go? Wasn't
That's a
there
good-ass
door that led
question.
into this room? I do feel quite certain that there was one here before. How else would we have gotten into the room in the... Stanley! Stanley, please don't push the button again. It's been 12 hours. You've just been frozen there. I don't know
Dude, you're
why the
just
skips are getting longer,
rambling.
but they're really, truly getting longer, and my God, there's no way out of the room. Stanley, the door is gone. It's completely gone. I've looked at it from every angle. I've checked every one of those walls a thousand times. Oh, Stanley, you're back. You're back. Oh, my goodness. I have someone to talk to again. Stanley, I think it's been a week. Or 2 weeks. I've been sitting here all that time. Oh, hello. It's you. You're here again. Welcome. I have had time to think about you and about us and about everything we've been through. I've had so much time. I stopped keeping track after a year. Have you ever sat down in one place and not moved for one entire year? Let me describe it for you.
Well, technically, yes.
To
I just
begin
wasn't
with,
conscious
there
for
is
it.
only regret. There is only the turning wheel of missed
all right, let's see how long we can get
opportunities. I
him to
felt
go
nothing
before
at
we actually
all
hit
but
the skip
regret
button.
for the longest time, Stanley. Days, months. I lost it all in a blur of the deepest longing to undo the past.
What
And
happened
when
next?
that feeling had begun to subside, what took its place is what I can only describe as the collapse of every moment I have ever experienced my entire life.
Damn,
All
that's
of it
crazy.
collapsed down into a single instant. In that instant, I could see myself clearly, calmly, with a collected heart. It
Yep.
was an impossibly rich wellspring of both delight and disgust simultaneously.
Yep, I'm gonna
I
push
was
the button.
consumed by it. I could do nothing but wallow in it for what felt like an eternity, for what I now know was far less. You see,
Work. Don't hear him. He's gone. Woohoo! How the heck do we get out of here? He's right, there was no door. Chair over here. Something. Huh. There's gotta be a way out. Well, the plant's dead. And the clock's not. Okay. Alright. Push it again. Oh great, the fire alarm's going off.
but they didn't understand the game was never meant to be funny. It was meant to have a point. It was meant to speak to the human condition. But where are the jokes? Where are the jokes? They bemoaned, they screamed, they gnashed their teeth and said, entertain us. It wasn't
still
enough.
go away?
They had to leave a pathetic little thumbs-down review and make all of their pitiful demands. But then, he's
I mean, do
talking
you
too
blame
much.
them?
They said, first, he didn't entertain us, now he won't shut up. It's the inconsistency, it's the lack of accountability, it's the unwillingness to examine with an uncompromising heart the words that they are speaking into the world, as though there were no consequences
Bro.
for a...
He's really getting annoyed. No, he's gone. I just want out of the place. That's it. We need a door. Guess we keep pushing the button until it happens.
The end is never the end, 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 is never the end.
I'm gonna go crazy. Finally. Can get the heck out of here. Maybe. Can't jump. Wait a little bit longer. Daylight. Just a little bit longer. Okay. Maybe? No? Okay. Need a way out. Oh, it's dark. One. Push the button, push the button, push the button! Finally, a wait. Whoa, how long we been in there? Can I push the button again? Can I push the... Crap. Okay. I don't know what we're gonna find out here in the desert, but we're gonna figure something out. Oh, blackout. End is never the end. The fuck? Okay.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
New content.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge
I wanted to get
first,
to the part
just
where it was just
admire
like to
it.
push a button, and I really just don't push a button.
Yes, this room. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've got... But in his eagerness to prove that he is in control of the story and no one gets to tell him what to do, Stanley leapt from the platform and plunged to his death. Good job, Stanley. Everyone thinks you are very powerful. All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
We go there, and then I want to get to the point where it's telling us to push the button.
Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors.
Goes
This was
back to
not
the
the correct
apartment.
way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. The lounge was sublime, a work of art. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
You can't jump. Oh, that's a
Stanley
trophy.
was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
So we're gonna go across here.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley.
Oh.
Someone you've forgotten about. What? Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you
No, we
that
got a different way
convinced
to
that I
go
want
here.
something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance. Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door.
See, he wants us to walk through the red. Wants us to. Say we try the. Let's try this door over here. Let's go to the blue door.
Aha, perhaps you misunderstood. Stanley walked through the red door.
No, I'm pretty sure I wanted to go through the blue door.
I still don't think we're communicating properly. Stanley walked through the red door.
The blue door.
All right, fine. Go ahead, Stanley. You want to know so badly what's out there? You want to find out what lies at the end of this road you've chosen? Well,
Little bit.
don't let me stop you.
Yeah, what do we got?
You see?
Whoa.
There's nothing here. I haven't even finished building this section of the map because you were never supposed to be here in the first place. Broken rooms, exposed developer textures. Is this what you had wanted? Was it worth ruining the entire story I had written out specifically for you? Do you not think I put a lot of time into that? Because I did. And in the end, it was all for nothing. Because this is what you wanted to see. Help me here, Stanley. Help elucidate these strange and unknowable desires of yours. What would have made this game better? What did you want to see? Vehicles? Skill trees? Work with me. You've given me absolutely nothing so far. Tell you what, Let me take a stab in the dark at a new design and you can give me some feedback. There we go. A third option. This already feels leaps ahead of where we were before. Go ahead, Stanley. Take it for a spin.
Sure, why not? Please rate
Okay,
your
I'm going to
experience.
stop you there. Now, tell me about your experience with this new version. Would you say that the game benefited from allowing you more choices? Feel free to be honest. I'm looking for some real critical feedback here.
I mean, yeah, I do like my choices. Give it a 4.
Okay, so we're getting somewhere. Clearly there's something here that speaks to you. If I can be honest here, I really don't have any idea where I'm going with this. This whole third door thing was just a stab in the dark. But I guess you're into it, so let's keep this party train rolling. Here, based on the data from your previous playthrough, I've compiled a new version. And to be perfectly candid, I think I've knocked it out of the park with this one. Let's take a look.
Worldwide leader. You beat the game in 0.2 seconds? Wait. Beat against others to improve your... What? Oh, board. Do you want to play? Huh? This way. Oh, wait a minute.
Now, would you say that competitive leaderboard helped you feel motivated to keep walking through doors? Again, honest answers, please.
Say maybe a 3.
Hey, I nearly forgot. I've got a prototype of a new game I've been working on, and now would be a lovely opportunity to give it some playtesting. You wouldn't mind taking a look at it, would you? Perfect. Let me boot it up.
Okay, what's he doing? What's he doing?
In this game, the baby crawls left towards danger. You click the button to move him back to the right, and if he reaches the fire, you fail. It's a very meaningful game, all about the desperation and tedium of endlessly confronting the demands of family life. I think the art world will really take notice. But of course, the message of the game only becomes clear once you've been playing it for about 4 hours. So why don't you give it 4 hours of play to make sure it's effective? Be sure to keep notes on your experience.
I'm not doing that for 4 hours. Bye, baby.
You heartless bastard. Did you do it because you hate babies or purely to spite me?
I couldn't
Because if it's
stand
the
that
latter,
whining
I don't know
for
what to
4
do. I'm
hours.
completely out of ideas. I can't think of a single thing that might improve the experience for me. I'm not even going to try. I'm out. I'm out. I'm done. It's over. Thank you for playing. Your input was extremely valuable. Oh, hey, since my game was so awful, why don't we play someone else's game, just to ease the pain? Let's see. What do we have here? Yes, this seems like it'll work. Let's give it a shot. Aha! Fascinating. What do
No
you think this game
fucking
is about,
way.
Stanley? What's our backstory? What is our motivation? Well, it seems obvious to me that you are meant to play as a creepy man spying on innocent civilians below you from up high
This
in
is
your clock tower,
Firewatch.
perhaps for some sort of twisted erotic purpose. Yes, that must be it. What
That's
a
not
fascinating
remotely it.
venture into the experience of total mental depravity. So far, I love everything about this game, Stanley. And it seems there's even more. Come, let's venture outward and see what else is out there.
There's no way he made Firewatch in this. No way. That's impressive. Oh.
Oh, no. No, 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 it can't be. It is. It's an open world game. Good God, quickly block it off.
What? Hey!
Oh, thank goodness, Stanley. What a close call.
I like
I
open
nearly
world
wandered off into
games.
that thing. That big, open, just wandering around. No right or wrong directions. No path to follow. You can just go in any... Oh, thank heavens we avoided it. We're out of the woods now, Stanley. Okay, I'm going to get us out of here. Let's find another game. Preferably something with walls. Something with nice, big, insurmountable walls.
Now where's Bro taking us?
Okay, I think this will be just the thing. Wonderful. See, this is
No.
exactly what I had in mind.
We're
Just a
at
nice
fucking
big
Rocket
box for you
League?
to run around in. There isn't any possibility that you could get lost here. Now this is game design. Stanley, if you manage to get lost in this game, I will be phenomenally impressed.
Can I get a car?
Okay, so what exactly do we do here? Let's see. There are lots of cars here in the back, but obviously there's no racetrack. Okay, I'm seeing that there's a ball of some kind back here. Is this game sports ball? Stanley, I think it's sports ball. Oh, what fun. We shall run the bases and do a touchdown together? Yes, I think surely we must. Okay, Stanley, here's the ball. Have fun.
Go! Come on, we gotta get a goal. Yeah.
Are you doing it? Are you winning? Is this fun? Is it better than my miserable little story that I worked so hard on? Stanley, I have
little
a
bit.
thought. And I realize I'm not a sportsologist, but if one ball generates a certain amount of raw adrenal pleasure, then surely multiple balls makes for an even more euphoric sports experience. I'm going to try it out. Here comes another ball. Yes! Oh goodness, that really does feel amazing, doesn't it? Stanley, I'm like a child in a confectionery shop. I simply have to have more. I'm insatiable. More balls!
Oh, damn. We can do this. We're a little guy bouncing around a
Are you
metal
enjoying
soccer ball.
this, Stanley? Are you having fun? Is this a real video game? Well, I sure hope you're...
Oh, fuck!
Hold on. What are you doing?
Whoa.
Stanley, don't do that. I can't follow you there. I can't help you. How will you write a story without me? You can't do it. You know that. Stanley, come back. We still have
What do we do? Oh! Oh, no. Oh, this isn't creepy at all. Oh, hey, a light. Oh, okay. Hey, it's our office. Or employee 427. There we go. Got here. Okay. Then nothing. Where am I going?
I wonder what he found. If what he wanted was to be the leading man in his own story, well, perhaps he's gotten it. Down in wherever he is right now. I wonder if he's happy with his choice.
I mean,
And
a
if
little
he's
bit.
learned the heavy cost that comes with it.
And that
He'll
is.
understand soon what I was trying to tell him. He needs me.
I don't need
Someone
nobody.
who will wrap everything up at the end to make sense out of the chaos and the fear and the confusion. That's who I am. That is what I mean to this world. Oh, yes. Yes, I'll be back. There's no other way. Once this ends, after it all comes to a close, then I'll be back. The end will be here soon. Very soon. I can wait.
Well, you kind of just like completely took me out of the thing. Okay, so we did that. Um. Well, I'm just finishing this up. There we go. Okay. So we hopped off. We went down through there.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Yeah, there's new content. I don't think we're done with the first bit of content
When
yet.
Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Want to
This
go back
was
to the
not correct
apartment.
way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Standing now in this incredible room, Stanley for the first but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Not yet. We have to make it back to the apartment.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think
This
perhaps
time we
we've
jumped
gotten
off.
on the wrong foot here. I'm not your
Went over
enemy, really,
there.
I'm not.
We could finish
I
that.
realize that investing your trust in someone else
Maybe
can
actually
be
going through the
difficult,
red door
but
might
the
have
fact
actually
is
done
that
something.
The story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me. I'm asking, this is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself. To put your work aside. To let her back into your life. She's been waiting. That's her, Stanley. You need to be the one to do this. To reach out to her. If you can truly place your faith in another, then pick up the phone.
See how long we'll give it a couple rings and see if it happens anything afterward. Maybe. I gave it a minute. Yeah, see, we're employee 427.
Oh, Stanley, is that you? Hold on, sweetie. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm just pulling the bread out of the oven. All right. Okay, there we go. All right, now, I want you to come in and tell me all about your day.
Gotcha. Oh, come on. Did you actually think you had a loving wife who'd want to commit their life to you? I'm trying to make a point here, Stanley. I'm trying to get you to see something. Come inside. Let me show you what's really going on here.
Yeah, what's really going on?
This is a very sad story about the death of a man named Stanley.
Maybe I don't push the thing on my
Stanley is quite a boring fellow. He has a job that demands nothing of him, and every button that he pushes is a reminder of the inconsequential nature of his existence.
I don't want to push another button.
Look at him there, pushing buttons, doing exactly what he's told to do. Now he's pushing a button. Now he's eating lunch. Now he's going home. Now he's coming back to work. One might even feel sorry for him, except that he's chosen this life.
Keep waiting it out. Like, what do we do?
But in his mind, in his
Okay, see,
mind,
these
he
are
can
ones
go
we
on
have to
fantastic
do.
adventures. From behind his desk, Stanley dreamed of wild expeditions into the unknown, fantastic discoveries of new lands. It was wonderful, and each day that he returned to work was a reminder that none of it would ever happen to him.
Stevie.
And so he began to fantasize about his own job. First, he imagined that one day while at work, he stepped up from his desk to realize that all of his co-workers, his boss, everyone in the building had suddenly vanished off the face of the earth. The thought excited him terribly.
Spend time with the boys.
So he went further. He imagined that he came to two open doors and that he could go through either. At last, choice. It barely even mattered what lay behind each door. The mere thought that his decisions would mean something was almost too wonderful to behold. As he wandered through this fantasy world, he began to fill it with many possible paths and destinations. Down one path lay an enormous round room with monitors and mind controls. And down another was a yellow line that weaved in many directions. And down another was a game with a baby. And he called it the Stanley Parable.
Nuts.
It was such a wonderful fantasy, and so in his head he relived it again, and then again, and again, over and over, wishing beyond hope that it would never end, that he might always feel this free. Surely there's an answer down some new path, mustn't there be? Perhaps if he played just one more time. But there is no answer. How could there possibly be? In reality, all he's doing is pushing the same buttons he always has. Nothing has changed. The longer he spends here, the more invested he gets, the more he forgets which life is the real one. And I'm trying to tell him this, that in this world he can never be anything but an observer, that as long as he remains here, he's slowly killing himself. But he won't listen to me. He won't stop. Here, watch this. Stanley, the next time the screen asks you to push a button, do not do it.
No, we're not going to do it. He told us not to do it. We're not doing it. It's gonna make us press it. Damn it.
You see? Can he just not hear me? How
I
can I
heard
tell
you,
him in
but
a
you
way
wouldn't
that
let
he'll
us go through the
understand that every
game.
second he remains here, he's electing to kill himself? How can I get him to see what I see? How can I make him look at himself? I suppose I
Okay, so
can't,
that really
not in the
didn't do
way I
much
want
for
him
us
to.
there. So maybe next
But
time
I
we
don't
do
make the rules.
the
I simply play to my intended purpose, the same as Stanley. We're not so different, I suppose. I'll try once more to convey all this to him. I'm compelled to. I must. Perhaps, well, maybe this time he'll see. Maybe this time. And I tried again, and Stanley pushed a button. And I tried again, and Stanley pushed a button. And
I tried again. Stanley pushed a button. Tried again. Stanley pushed a button. Okay, so now we're going to jump off,
all of his co-workers were gone.
and then we're going to go
What
through
could
the
it mean?
red door
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed
and see
a
where
memo.
that takes us now. Before we go to the new content.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Stanley felt lightheaded, butterflies in his stomach. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not.
No, we're just
I realize
exploring
that
real quick.
investing your
We're
trust in
gonna
someone else can be difficult, but the
do
fact
something
is
right,
that
huh?
the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. What? Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give
We'll
me
go
a
through the red door.
chance. Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door. Oh, thank God you are willing to listen to me. Do you see that I really have wanted you to be happy all this time? The problem is all these choices. The two of us always trying to get somewhere that isn't here. Running and running and running, just the way you're doing right now. Don't you see that it's killing us, Stanley?
You tricked me,
I
you
want
little
it to
shit.
stop. We would both be so much happier if we just stopped. And I think I have a solution. Here, let me show you. What do we want? What are we looking for?
Whoa. It's like the space tent back in elementary school.
Yes. Oh, it's beautiful, isn't it? If we just stay right here, right in this moment with this place, Stanley, I think I feel happy. I actually feel happy.
Turn into. What is that? Okay, just rotating. Whoa. That's so cool. Now what's it going to? Oh, I can't go off the edge. Okay. Is that all it's gonna do? Sneeze. Alright, maybe not. Content warning. This section contains suicidal themes. Hold X to skip and complete this.
No, wait. Where are you going?
Well, it depends what type of...
Oh no. Stay away from those stairs. If you hurt yourself, if you die, the game will reset. We'll lose all of this. Please, no, Stanley, let me stay here. Don't take this from me. Please, Stanley, think about what you're doing.
Look away, chat. Close your eyes.
No!
Ow.
Oh, thank God. You lived. You had me worried there for a moment. Now, can we please get back to the other room? No. No, what are you doing, Stanley? Please, I'm asking you not to take this away from me. I can't go back to what I was before. If you die, we'll both go back. Why are you doing this?
Let's see if it works.
Stanley, let's go back to the other room. Can you do that for me?
Third time's a charm. If it doesn't work this time, then
My
we'll go back to
God.
the room.
Is this really how much you dislike my game? That you'll throw yourself from this platform over and over to be rid of it? You are literally willing to kill yourself to keep me from being happy. Am I reading the situation correctly?
Yeet. Damn it.
Maybe you're just getting a kick out of it. I don't know anymore. I just wanted us to get along.
Alright, fine, we'll
But
go
I guess
to the
that
other
was
door.
too much to ask. Do you actually want to stay alive? Or are you just teasing me?
That's pretty cool.
I wanted us to be happy here, Stanley. I really did. I wish I still thought that was possible.
Oh, can I just go off the cliff? Wait, I can't walk as fast now. Maybe I have to go and jump again. If not, I wonder if I can still hold X. Yeah, because I'm not moving this fast. We have to do it at 4. Alright. Yeet!
Is it over?
Yep, we had to do it
Time
a 4
to
times.
restart, isn't it? I'm going back.
Okay, so that was going through the red door. So now what if we just follow instructions?
Someone was following Stanley. He was sure of it. If he checked over his shoulder now, he would surely catch them. It was only a matter of time.
It's changed. His dialogue's changed.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Okay.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Hoping he might find an answer. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Let's walk down the stairs. We didn't walk down the stairs last time. Oh? What's this? It's a note we can't read. Parking
But
lot.
Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during
Instinct
work
of mental
hours.
illness.
He might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all? None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations.
Huh.
For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down? Why did doors
We
close
can't-
automatically behind him
We
wherever
can't
he
see our
went?
feet.
And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming, he yelled. This is all a dream.
Yeah. All a dream, all a
What
dream.
a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all.
Nope,
He thought
not
to himself,
crazy.
I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So, he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground. Then
Whoa.
he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too appeared. It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking? Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm
Little bit.
dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very odd and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself, believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life. Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley.
A little bit.
After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please.
Maybe.
It's
I don't want to
all
go back to
want.
pushing buttons, but we did
I
just go
want
into a
my
loop for like
apartment and my
8
wife
different times.
and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine.
No one's normal.
I am okay.
Everyone was normal, the world would be boring.
Stanley began screaming. Please, someone, wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black.
Did we die?
This is the story of a woman named Mariella. Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And
Chad,
although
I
she
think
would
that's
soon
us.
turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments, she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy. This much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day. The very important people whose
She's like,
impressions of her would
call
affect her
911. That's
career,
gonna be about
and by
it.
extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
My nose won't quit. Was that an ending? Yes. Okay, so now maybe this time we'll actually follow directions and just go straight to where we're supposed to go. You know what I'm saying? Because we started, and then we went up the staircase. Or we went down the staircase, did that. Next, if we go back to the boss's room...
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps
and then
he had
instead of going to
simply
the
missed a
mind
memo.
control facility, we just go to escape. And see where that takes us. This is new.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Yep, we went to the door on our left.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to it. Oh no, no, not again. I won't be
What?
part of this. I'm not going to encourage you. I'm not going to say anything at all. I'm just going to be patient and
What are you
wait for you
talking
to
about?
finish whatever it is you enjoy doing so much in this room. Please take your time.
Well, so-and-so is supposed to be stuck in the broom closet. I'm sorry.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Okay. Good bathroom. No. What? Money in the morning, money in the evening, money for breakfast. Money crisp. Yeah, so that's changed. Oh, maybe we go down the elevator this time? Go down. Let's see if where down takes us. Do 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 do. Stay. That's good elevator music. We didn't go anywhere again. Okay. Indoors monthly.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. What could it mean? Stanley wondered aloud to nobody. He began wildly tearing through papers on the boss's desk, pulling books off the shelf, looking behind paintings, desperate for clues to his situation. But his attention was caught by a keypad behind the boss's desk. What could its purpose be? In fact, This keypad guarded the terrible secret that lay buried below his feet. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
Beep, beep,
Yet
beep.
incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
Okay. Here on the elevator. And then instead of going to the mind control room, we escape.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read
Oh.
Mind Control Facility. Although
Escape.
this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death.
Say what? Can I go back? Oh,
The door behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track.
that's
At
a
this
long
point,
hallway.
Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death.
What is that? Oh, YOLO. Oh shit.
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley was inched closer and closer to his demise, he reflected that his life had been of no consequence whatsoever. Stanley can't see the bigger picture. He doesn't know the real story, trapped forever in his narrow vision of what this world is. Perhaps his death was of no great loss, like plucking the eyeballs from a blind man. And so he resigned and willingly accepted this violent end to his brief and shallow life. Farewell, Stanley.
Oh, goodbye, Stanley. What?
"Farewell, Stanley," cried the narrator, as Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly.
Wait, why did... the heck? What's up with that bit? Huh. I don't know. This word. Oh, okay. I know who that's for. Okay. Well, we didn't die, which is a good thing. Stanley Parable.
And yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever. What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish?
I don't know, but he's somewhere now.
When every path you can walk has been created for you long in advance, death becomes meaningless, making life the same. Do
I
you
mean, this
see now? Do
pretty
you see
cool.
that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start?
Wait, is this like the actual finish of the game? No, it's where we start. This is the walkway we go through. The two doors. The set of two doors was the very first concrete piece of Stanley Parable's design. Once this room was created, the rest of the game emerged as an extension of it, an exploration of the contradiction this room posed. Filing cabinets, corridor. Office computers. We can just turn all these off. Trying to save power. Button sounds. The selection of the sounds used throughout the game. When buttons are pressed, each sound is a mix of a keyboard stroke and a synthesized tone. I like that one. Blue bleep. Office. Oh, so this is the legit end of the game. It's cool how they did this. Kevin Brighton. Kevin Brighting. Sorry, Kevin. Need to butcher your name there. He is the narrator. Okay, cool. Wait, there's two doors. Let's go here first. This one. This one doesn't look game ending. Office. Oh, it's more little snapshots of the printed money. What? Saw somebody. The apartment timer. The previous version of the game leading up to the apartment ending, the timer would give you 15 seconds to pick up the phone. Oh, 15 seconds? That means we have to go back. Wait, I didn't even get to the cargo lift. Option 1. Enter the doorway to the Manson Lounge. Doorway to the Manson Lounge. Yeah. Oh, then we did the vent. Room. Switches. Well, I didn't get that far. Trailers. We ran 4 major teaser trailers over the course of the game's development. Each meant to convey something about the spirit of the game. This is the first one released in May 2012. It features a series of broken rooms and the voice of the narrator informing viewers that he is repairing a new version of the Stanley. Escape menu. What? We had an ending that only ended when the player restarted from the escape menu. Fortunately, very few players. Really?
The meeting room. Yes, that's where everyone would be. Stanley just needed to get to the meeting room, and from then on, he would never be alone ever again.
Uh-huh.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Oh, I fudged up again. I forgot to go over to the loading bay because I knew if we didn't touch the phone, it would give us a different end.
message scheduled either by you or person in your place of work. The purpose of this message is to warn you about the dangers of recorded messages. If at any time you believe you are listening to a recorded message, please terminate it immediately and cease all flow of information from the recorded message into your perceptual sphere. Thank you, and have a pleasant day.
Huh. Okay, that was easy.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors,
Oh,
he
yeah, that's the
entered
way
the
to go
door.
this way.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. The lounge was grand, majestic, perhaps, but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Now, we got a telephone not to
Stanley was
answer
so
for
bad at
15
following
seconds.
directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really.
So far for a game like this isn't too bad. We've hit the
investing
2-hour
your trust in
mark
someone else can be
pretty
difficult,
quick.
but the fact is that the
With so
story
many
has been
different
about
endings,
nothing
like,
but
this
you
is
all
not
this
bad.
time. There's someone you've been neglecting,
bad at all.
Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me.
No, we're just
I'm asking
going,
for her.
we're going this way so we
This
don't
is
pick
it,
up the phone
Stanley.
for 15
Your
seconds.
chance to redeem yourself, to put your work aside, to let her back into your life.
Alright, we got
She's
Pope Tower.
been waiting. That's her, Stanley. You need to be the one to do this, to
Alright,
reach
15
out
seconds.
to her. If you can truly place your faith in another, then pick up the phone.
I know it's backwards for you guys, but we're at 10. Maybe their seconds are a little slow. Because we're at 30 seconds right now. We'll wait, because it says if we don't pick up the phone for 15 seconds, then we get a different ending. So we shall see. 45. 50. Or did it... No, it said 15 seconds. A minute 15. Now we're at a minute 30. It's not working. Alright. We're resetting.
A soft wind blew outside and perhaps rain started, and if it did, it stopped shortly after. Stanley hoped that he would one day see weather.
Yeah, weather would be nice. Alright, let's follow the full direction and see where that gets
When
us.
Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
We always ended up
Yet
taking
there
it
was
deep.
not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his
He boarded up
boss's
the broom
office,
closet.
hoping he might find an answer there. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Because the boss knows that what the boss says goes. If the boss suffered losses, then that's what the boss chose.
The
Maybe we're in
moment
our
he
new
entered his
content now?
manager's office, Stanley froze in his tracks. Not a living soul anywhere. Could he really be all alone? This was too much for Stanley to take, too much for any man to take. He fell to his knees, bursting into half moans, half sobs, the guttural retching of life from a man denied any hope, any reason to keep going. Here on the floor, he lay prone, paralyzed by fear for nearly a full hour. But when at last he began to move about and survey the situation, he found a keypad behind the boss's desk. What could it mean? Was it a sign of hope for Stanley's future? Alas, it was not. For although this keypad guarded the terrible secret of Stanley's past, it had been assigned a 4-digit code so devious and so random that no man could ever hope to guess it. 2845. Statistically, nearly impossible to guess blindly, ever. Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
Alright, let's see what we got here. If it ends up going to the same kind of ending that we did for when we went forward, then we'll restart and do the new con. Didn't say anything about going back
Whoops.
up.
Nope. Never mind. Stanley actually got back into the elevator and went back up. Silly me. Why did Stanley do that when he knew that it would just lead back to his boss's office? Well, that's a great question. I just can't wait to find out.
I mean, well, neither can I. We unlock something new. Did we catch the boss?
Here we are, Stanley. It's your boss's office. Exactly the way it was before you got onto the elevator. It's still just exactly what it is. What a decision you've made to come up here and look at the office again. This has fleshed out the plot of the story in new and fascinating ways I could have never anticipated. It's that keen eye for storytelling that you have, an incisive rapid fire of critical plot points, one after the other, weaving a rich tapestry of uncompromising narrative. Wow! I'm bolted to the edge of my seat.
Could live an exciting life there, narrator. That's kind of why you're narrating it, huh? Huh?
Incredible. Now he's getting back into the elevator and going down again. Ladies and gentlemen, how does he keep coming up with all of this?
I'll be here all night.
Surely this time Stanley will walk forward into the spooky corridor, won't he? Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Push that button.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
See if anything comes differently.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
Yeah, if this ends up
This
being
mind
like the same
control
ending and we can't
facility,
go anywhere,
it was
we'll
too
try the new
horrible to
stuff.
believe it couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
Maybe?
No, he refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never! It was unthinkable, wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world?
Maybe.
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy
We
or
could
sad
turn on the
or
system.
content. Walking, eating, working,
That
All
was
of
an
it
option.
monitored
We
and
turned it off the
commanded from
first
this
time.
very
What if we
place.
turn it on?
And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power
Wait a minute.
over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
That's a 3. One. 2. 2. There's a button up there, though. I also can't see right now. Up the visibility. Uh. There we go. I've been fighting that sneeze off for the past half an hour. There's a staircase we can get. And we can't. Eh. This way. There's a button up there I gotta push. I hit 2. Where was 3? There's 5. 3. Oh, here's 3. 3. And that's 4. And I really need to get up there. And it won't let me up there. Yeah. Oh. Push the button? How the heck am I supposed to get up there? Well, let's turn it on this time and see if it does anything.
And when at last he found the source of the room's... Oh, Stanley, you didn't just activate the controls, did you? After
No.
they kept you enslaved all these years, you go and you try to take control of the machine for yourself. Is that what you wanted? Control? Oh, Stanley, I applaud your effort, I really do. But you need to understand, there's only so much that machine can do. You were supposed to let it go, turn the controls off, and leave. If you want to throw my story off track, you're going to have to do much better than that. I'm afraid you don't have nearly the power you think you do. For example, and I believe you'll find this pertinent, Stanley suddenly realized he had just initiated the network's emergency detonation system.
A what?
In the event that this machine is activated without proper DNA identification, nuclear detonators are set to explode, eliminating the entire complex. How long until detonation then? Let's say, 2 minutes. Ah, now this is making things a little more fun, isn't it, Stanley? It's your time to shine. You are the star. It's your story now. Shape it to your heart's desires. Oh, this is much better than what I had in mind. What a shame we have so little time left to enjoy it.
I gotta turn it off.
Moments until the bomb goes off. But what precious moments each one of them is. More time to talk about you.
1,
About me.
2.
Where we're going. What all this means. I barely know where to start. What's that? You'd like to know where your co-workers
3.
are? A moment of solace before you're obliterated? All right, I'm in a good mood. You're gonna die anyway. I'll tell you exactly what happened to them. I erased them. I turned off the machine. I set you
Or
free. Of course, that was merely in this instance of the story. Sometimes when I tell it, I simply let you sit there in your office forever, pushing buttons endlessly and then dying alone. Other times,
you're a very
I let
mean
the office sink
narrator.
into the ground,
And do
swallowing
nothing to you.
everyone inside, or I let it burn to a crisp. I have to say this, though, this version of events has been rather amusing.
Not working.
Watching you try to make sense of everything and take back the control wrested away from you, it's quite rich. I almost hate to see it go. But I'm sure whatever I come up with on the next go-around will be even better. My goodness, only 34 seconds left. But I'm enjoying this so much.
We're gonna do it like the
You know
last
what?
second.
To hell with it. I'm going to put some extra time on the clock, why not? These are precious additional seconds, Stanley. Time doesn't grow on trees. Oh dear me, what's the matter, Stanley? Is it that you have no idea where you're going or what you're supposed to be doing right now?
Pushed
Or
off
did
5
you
buttons.
just assume when you saw that timer that something in this room was capable of turning it off? I mean, look at you. Running from button to button, screen to screen, clicking on every little thing in this room. These numbered buttons, no, these colored ones. Or maybe this big red button, or this door. Everything, anything, something here will save me. Why would you think that, Stanley? That this video game can be beaten? Won? Solved? Do you have any idea what your purpose in this place is? Stanley, you're in for quite a disappointment. But here's a spoiler for you. That timer isn't a catalyst to keep the action moving along. It's just seconds ticking away to your death. You're only still playing instead of watching a cutscene because I want to watch you for every moment that you're powerless. To see you made humble. This is not a challenge. It's a tragedy. You wanted to control this world, that's fine. But I'm going to destroy it first, so you can't. Take a look at the clock, Stanley. That's 30 seconds you have left to struggle. 30 seconds until a big boom and then nothing. No ending here, just you being blown to pieces. Will you cling desperately to your frail
Ow.
life, or will you let it go peacefully? Another choice. Make it count, or don't. It's all the same to me, all a part of the joke. And believe me, I will be laughing at every second of your inevitable life from the moment we fade in until the moment I say, happily ever after.
Whoops. Is there anything you could do for that?
Hello. This is a recorded message scheduled either by you or a person in your place of work. The purpose of this message is to warn you about the dangers of recorded messages. If at any time you believe you are listening to a recorded message, please terminate it.
I tried to terminate it. We're gonna go for some new
Good.
content.
You notice my sign. Yes, I have something very exciting to show you.
I mean, we exploded in the last one.
You see, Stanley, I've been reflecting on the Stanley Parable and about how roundly disappointing this ultra deluxe version has turned out to be. The original Stanley Parable was a landmark, and any new content for it should live up to that legacy.
I mean,
so
yeah.
forget this ultra deluxe nonsense. I say we take it one step even further. Which is why I'm very proud to announce for the first time ever, the Stanley Parable 2.
Ooh. The Stanley Parable 2.
Yes, you see, isn't this far superior to a measly port with a few minor additions? Think of all the new territory we'll cover with a fully fledged sequel. An entirely new experience, built from the ground up. Why, there are so many possibilities. It could go in so many different directions. This is what fans have truly been asking for.
Uh, there's so many different endings to this. Huh. Weird. There's so many endings to this game. It's not funny. Okay, what we got? Is it the Parable 2?
Calling it the Stanley Parable 2 is just so much catchier than Ultra Deluxe, don't you think? Ultra Deluxe? What does it even mean? But the Stanley Parable 2, now that's an artistic statement right there. It's future-oriented. It screams progress and innovation and long-term franchising potential.
They're back, the two doors. What did they make that on? That's a cool program. Okay. Go
Now,
through
to be
these
clear,
doors.
I haven't quite nailed down what exactly the Stanley Parable 2 is going to be, but let's take a look at some of the features I've been developing for it. I figure that if I can loosely organize a handful of interesting concepts,
Scrum design,
that surely
pitch,
the
break,
game will
design,
sort of
pitch
naturally
design, number
spring
2
up
chat.
around them. It'll all work itself out.
Who
Game
took the red
development is
marker?
much more of a
Me.
fuzzy magic than anything scientific or logical, really.
End is never the end again. New features, new content. I like the bus. It's a nice touch. Whoa. The
Here
bucket?
we are. Go on, try out some of the new features.
Button that says the name of the player that is playing the game. The button? Oh, love it.
For the Stanley Parable 2, I asked myself, what do players really want? And of course, the first and most obvious answer is that they want to be individually recognized and validated as people. So with that in mind, my first addition to the game is this button which speaks the name of the Sorry, I should have clarified. Right now, the button only says the name Jim. But of course, in the final game, this button will say your name, whatever name that is. Here, let's have you roleplay as Jim to really simulate the full experience of this
I want to be
feature.
Jim.
Just play along. I promise you'll love it.
Alright,
Here we
okay.
go. Let's take a deep breath, clear your mind, forget whoever you are, and simply become a person named Jim. I want... Jim. Whoa, hold on. I wasn't finished setting up the backstory. If you don't properly roleplay as Jim, then you'll never understand the impact of this button. Otherwise, it's just a stupid button that says somebody else's name.
Okay, fine.
We're doing it again, and this time let me finish first.
Okay.
Now, allow yourself to become Jim.
I am
Imagine
Jim.
yourself driving to work as Jim, playing frisbee on the weekends as Jim, staying up all night for a popcorn and horror movie sleepover as Jim, developing a crippling substance addiction as Jim, rediscovering yourself through fringe religious groups as Jim, and finally dying a slow death at an old age surrounded by members of your cult as Jim. Do you
Okay.
feel it in your soul? Are you really, truly Jim right now?
As Jim as it's gonna
If
get.
so, then please step forward and press the button.
The button.
Jim. Yes, you see? What a thrill, what a rush. That was you. The button described you. Do it again, do it again.
I want to push it again. Yeah, do I?
Jim! It hits even harder the second time. If this were the only new feature in the Stanley Parable 2, it would still be worth the money. Let's take a break from the gym button. I'm too emotionally drained from all of this personal validation.
I think he enjoyed it more than we did.
I suppose I could allow only people named Jim to play the Stanley Parable 2. That would actually save me the work of finishing this feature.
The jump circle. Infinite hole. The button says, oh, we go. It's the infinite hole. Free, new, plus easy trophy. Wait, I want a free trophy. But it says collectibles is this way. Infinite halls that way. Okay. I want a free trophy.
Now here's something special. You remember that broken test trophy that got left in the game on accident? Well, I'm developing a technology to simply give you the trophy. Yes, you see, okay, perhaps I should have clarified. This is technology that will exist. Right now, the trophy is still fully broken. I'm not a wizard, Stanley, but I guarantee it will be fixed in the sequel to at
Better
last
be.
satisfy the hordes of ravenous fans all over the world who have been uproariously demanding this feature. Gamers, we hear you, and I promise it will happen.
I'm pulling, damn it. Darn. Alright, fine. To a different one.
What else? What other exhibits haven't we seen yet?
We did the jump circle. Did the infinite hole. Whatever that one does. Is this it?
Stanley, here's an idea that I'm truly fond of. It's never been done before in a video game. This is in fact a hole that you can fall down forever. That's right. Infinite falling. You can fall until the end of time if you like. A stunning leap forward for video games as a medium.
Well, you're not the first to do it. I'm pretty sure Portal was the first one to do an infinite hole. Yee!
You see, isn't it wonderful? One of my more ingenious concoctions, if I do say so. Now then, since you've gotten to see the infinite hole, you can press the teleport button to pop back up to the top, and we can continue onward.
But what if we don't?
Now, I don't mean to be a bummer, but I do recommend you use the teleport button to go back to the top. Maybe do it on the sooner rather than later spectrum of things.
We're gonna see. There's a thing in here for the infinite.
Okay, Stanley, I don't know quite how to say this tactfully, but it's possible that I slightly exaggerated the infinite nature of the hole. Is it a very, very deep hole? To be certain it is. It's an extremely deep hole. I don't want anyone to say that it isn't an astonishingly deep hole. It is. Is it infinite? Well,
Yeah.
that sort of depends on your definition of infinity. From one perspective, the infinite is merely philosophical in nature. It's more of a...
Oh!
Okay, well, good for you. You found the bottom of the hole. You found me out, Stanley. I'm a liar and a cheat, and you're so clever. Look, I think the issue here is just that you're unusually fascinated by falling. What normal person actually wants to fall infinitely? I figured the hole was as deep as anyone would actually need. Don't you put this on me. Maybe you're the problem. Look, things got a little heated there. I think we both said some things we didn't mean. Why don't we just put all this behind us and agree to just call the hole mostly infinite? If that works for you, then go ahead and press the teleport button to warp up to the top of the hole and we can move
All
on.
the cigarettes
I'll
that are
just be
down
up
here.
when you're ready. Great. Now, I'm very excited. Oh,
Whee!
for heaven. You see, I was right. The problem is you. The problem is that you like holes too much. Not normal. A normal person would have said, yep, that's an infinite hole right there. Goes on forever till the end of time. Don't need to see it all, but not you. Oh, no, 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 no. You have a weird sort of... Oh. Did the hole seem even shorter to you this time? I couldn't help but feel like you spent a little less time in there than you did before. I mean, admittedly, I didn't make an infinite hole, but I didn't think it was that not infinite. Well, I suppose once again there's nothing to do here. If you decide you've had enough of the hole, you can hit the teleport button and come join me up above. Had enough? I'm positively thrilled. Gosh, how could I have guessed? You're back in the hole. If this starts to become a thing where... Wow. Okay. Yes. I'm starting to become extremely certain that the hole is not only not infinite, but that it's growing steadily less and less infinite. I suspect that I'm starting to hit the point where it's no longer feasible to call the hole infinitely deep, even by the lax overall standards for
As we
accountability
keep jumping
and
in the
marketing.
hole, every
What's
time you
going
teleport
on
back to
here?
find that the hole is
Stanley,
now
I have no
a small
explanation for the
indentation.
uncertain nature of the hole's length. Here, let's try something. Let's pop back up to the top, and we'll see if it gets any shorter. Well, there it is. The shame of my lie has come to haunt me. Not only... How is this still appealing to you? I know you're obsessed with holes, but at this depth, I just can't see this scratching the itch. Oh, who am I to judge? You just do whatever it is you're here to do and hit the teleport button when you're ready to move on. Is
Uh-oh.
the, teleport button not working?
No, turn it back on.
You sure? Well, I mean, I really don't have an explanation. It was working. Still nothing? Well, I suppose there is one thing I can do to fix this. I'm out. Goodbye, Stanley.
Hey,
You
no,
couldn't bear
no,
to
no,
be
no,
away
no, no,
from
no,
the
no, no,
hole,
no, no.
and
Don't
now
you leave me
you'll
in
get
here.
more time with it than you could ever have asked for. It's a
Don't you
win
leave
for
me in
everyone.
here.
You get to be
Don't
with
you
the
leave me.
hole. I get to
Don't
do
leave me.
literally anything else. Take care, Stanley. I hope you and the hole have a wonderful rest of eternity together.
Narrator, you get your ass back here right now. Don't you dare make me restart this game. I'll restart it. Narrator, you get your ass back here right now. Does it say on how to... Oh. Okay. We're just slowly descending. Okay. I guess that's us. Yeah, this is a little weird.
My head's stronger. You're no longer using up the space of mine.
Ah, puppies! Here we go. I'm Buff Stanley. Look at me. Hey, I like that version of Stanley.
Stanley? Stanley? Stanley!
What?
Oh, good, you're awake. It seems you had sort of dozed off there, drifting away into dreamland. But we can't have that, Stanley, because this hole is just so darn fascinating that I want you to be wide awake for every second of it. You
Get me
don't
out of
want to
this
miss a
hole. How about
single
that?
moment. So how about if I just pop in from time to time and wake you up to keep you really, truly focused on the hole? From the
Narrator,
looks of things, you and I will have many, many years
you better
together
get
in
my
this
ass out of
hole,
here.
and I'm looking forward to all of them. Stay alert, Stanley. I'll be back. Toodle pip.
No total pip. You get your ass right back down here. You get me out of this hole. Oh, geez, not again. Oh, I thought we were going to go down the hole again. Okay.
Here we are. Go on. Try out some of the new features.
Went to the infinite loop. We didn't do the bucket. Oh, now it's mostly an infinite hole. What's the bucket? The
A
reassurance
common complaint
bucket.
of the Stanley Parable was that it was confusing and paradoxical, that it engendered a chaotic sense of reckless despair in those who played it. Well, I'm happy to say that after much consideration, I've engineered a clever solution to this fundamental problem with the game. It's the Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket. You see, Stanley, anytime you're holding the bucket, a sense of calm and ease will fill your mind and your heart. It's true.
I don't see a
As long as you
bucket.
hold on to the bucket, the many disorienting contradictions of the Stanley Parable will feel perfectly normal and perhaps even comforting. You may even come to long for the gentle embrace of jarring cognitive dissonance while the bucket is in your arms. And to be honest, it's a much more convenient solution for me than actually redesigning the game to be less uncomfortable. Can you imagine what a pain in the ass that would be? Yes, the
I mean, a
bucket
little
is
bit,
the
I guess,
perfect
if you're making the
solution.
game,
Come on,
but...
give it a try.
Bucket.
Can you feel it? The glow of comfort, even in the face of crushing despair, must already be sweeping through your body. And in fact, can I say that I do believe the bucket lends you an air of charisma as well? I think that just holding it has made you the slightest bit more attractive as a person. The benefits of the
I don't feel
bucket seem to
attractive
go
with a
on and on,
bucket.
don't they? All this and more await you in the Stanley Parable 2.
Great, now we have a bucket.
Does anyone give out awards for most enjoyable bucket in a video game? That really should be an award if it isn't already. Okay, I'll be honest, I haven't yet decided on this one. I think that in the new version, the office could use a bit of decoration, like balloons. But I'm undecided on Get Well Someday and Happy 12th Birthday. Which would you go with?
Oh. Get well soon.
You know, sometimes when you solicit another person's opinion, it makes you realize that you knew which one you actually really wanted all along. Happy 12th birthday, step-niece, it is.
That's not
Or
what
actually,
I...
maybe I should have gone with... No, I've made my decision, we're moving on.
Okay. That's... Okay, so we got collectibles.
Ah, collectibles. Now it's a real video game. In the Stanley Parable 2, you'll run around gathering up these miniature Stanley figurines. And what's truly innovative is that there will be no reward for collecting all of them. I don't want to stifle the intrinsic joy of watching a number go up. You simply collect all of them, and then you move the hell on with your unremarkable life.
That's creepy. One out of 6.
God, it really is the worst when you collect everything in a video game and then they give you a big fancy reward for it. Absolutely tragic.
Well, we did the jump circle. I wonder if it'll give us more jump stuff.
You know what? Let's bring the jump circle back for Stanley Parable 2 as well. It's... Oh, wait. You already spent all your jumps the first time we saw the jump circle. Oh well. I suppose it can just be a nice decorative piece then.
I wanted to jump. Well, you know what? We're leaving then. If I can't jump, we're leaving. Epilogue. Settings, world champ, the button that says the name for a trophy, this match. Circle. Oh, where's the epilogue? Oh. Around here? Oh, I thought it opened. Epilogue. Here? Oh, it says it there. Okay. Getting there. Free trophy. Oh, the world champion setting. Alright. We're leaving. We're getting out of here. Maybe this will actually finish the game. If so, you know, we got 15 minutes left in stream. That's not bad for a little puzzle game like this. It's actually not bad.
All right. Have you seen everything you wanted to? Ready to move on now?
A briefcase. Yeah, kind of wanting to put the bucket down too, you know.
So, Stanley, what do you think? Do you like all of the new features? Yes, I know it's not exactly clear yet how exactly these features will come together as one single coherent video game, but I can feel it in my soul. It's going to work. There's definitely a good game in there somewhere. Say, let's do an experiment. I'll arrange these new features together, and we'll see whether or not it coheres into a meaningful gameplay experience. Okay. Are you ready?
Sure.
Here it is. I give you the Stanley Parable 2.
That's it.
Well, I mean, there's potential here, right? It's sort of... Okay, never mind. Hold on. Let me do
No.
arrangement. Okay, yes, this is much better. I feel good about this. Here we go. Version 2. Who am I kidding, Stanley? This isn't a coherent video game at all. It's a lot of gags. And I do very much enjoy creating gags, but they don't add up to anything.
No, you're not really good
I
at
wanted
it
more than
either.
anything to create a sequel that would capture all the magic of the first game. I wanted fans to love it. No matter how good these gags are, they won't stand on their own. They would need the structure and the gameplay of the original. Wait, maybe that's it. I can take the original Stanley Parable and simply, well, insert a few of my new features into it. Tastefully, of course. With respect. With care for the vision
It's
and
not a bad
integrity of
idea.
the original game.
Not a bad
Would
idea.
it possibly work? I suppose it could. But it would need a really, really tremendous title screen. A title screen that says with bold and uncompromising conviction, "This is the Stanley Parable 2. Let me see if I can whip something up.
I'm not gonna
Perfect.
lie. I'm
Go
actually kind of
ahead.
glad this is a free game because
Take
this
a
is not
look.
something I would pay money for. Wait, it's a whole... It did not just do that.
This is the story of
Where's the true ending?
all of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. Stanley picked up the bucket.
We get new
Stanley
content.
clutched the bucket tightly to his chest. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Well, no, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room. And so the two of them detoured through the maintenance section and walked straight ahead to the opposite door.
Nope, this was the part we missed on the first try. Remember when we found that sneaky room that showed like
good,
all
Stanley.
the
I'm glad you found your
or not
way
the experience,
here.
but
I
all
knew
the
you'd
little
find this
Easter
place
eggs.
eventually. You see, your friends and I are concerned for you, Stanley. We've come together here because we care about you very much. It's this bucket you're carrying around everywhere. The bucket isn't even from the original Stanley Parable. It's just sequel content.
When
We're
you
the
gave it
ones
to
that matter,
me.
Stanley. Classic characters from the first game, like the Adventure Line and the Broom Closet. Because that's what fans want from a sequel. They want more of their favorite jokes, not this bucket that they've never seen before. Yes, I know I'm the one who gave you the bucket, but you're spending
Okay.
too much time with it.
I just got
Don't you
the
want another
bucket.
story involving the Adventure Line? We could make the Adventure Line go somewhere new. Yes, yes, that's what the fans want. Let's do it. Whee! Look at that wacky line.
I like
Who
how it has
knows where it'll
trademark
go off
for
to next? Oh, and
Adventure
it played
Line.
some silly music as well. Now this is what the Stanley Parable is all about. Don't you remember all those great jokes from the original dialogue? Also, Stanley is addicted to drugs and hookers. Yes, it's as classic now as it was back then. Let's do it for the fans, Stanley. Let's give them more content exactly like this. But if we want to do that, you're going to have to give something up.
That was never part of the original game. And now you can't have my bucket. Now I know you want my bucket. You can't have my bucket.
Don't you get it, Stanley? We need to get rid of the bucket. That's why I'm very
Nuh-uh.
proud to introduce a brand new character. This is the Bucket Destroyer. I think it'll make a wonderful new addition to the rich lore
No.
of the Stanley Parable.
No, no,
it
no, no,
also
no,
was
no, no.
not
You're
in
not
the
getting
original
rid of
game, but
Bucky.
It's such a well-fleshed-out character with so much personality that to me it already feels as though it's been part of the cast all along. Don't you agree?
No. I don't want to get rid of Bucky.
Can you guess what the Bucket Destroyer does? Surely you don't need me to spell it out for you.
No. I'm pushing
Go
the
ahead
button.
now, Stanley. Say goodbye to the bucket, and then pop it into the machine when you're ready.
No, where's the off switch?
Now listen to me. It's crucial that you give it the bucket. I don't know what the Bucket
No.
Destroyer will do if it can't destroy your bucket. Destroying buckets is all it knows. That is its singular personality trait. Sure, I can hear you saying, how does a character with only one personality trait deserve to join the
Not gonna
pantheon
work.
of beloved Stanley Parable characters? Well, you see, if you were to really explore the Bucket Destroyer, you would see that its desire to crush buckets is so densely loaded with complexity and nuance that it's really like 10 personality traits. What other
Nope, you're not
object
getting
in
Bucky.
this game can you even say that about? The Broom Closet? Certainly not. I wonder what sort of Bucket Destroyer merchandise the fans will be clamoring for after this.
We can put him right back in the
Okay,
broom
the
closet.
Bucket Destroyer is getting very upset now. You'll have to hurry and feed it. We can't get back to the classic Stanley Parable gag characters like the Adventure Line or the Bucket Destroyer until you crush that damn bucket. Quickly now, the fans are waiting. Do it, the fans, Stanley. Give the
Nope.
fans what they want. Hurry and go.
You blow up.
The Bucket Destroyer, my prized creation. You had so much potential. We were going to do such marvelous things with you, tell such spellbinding stories about you. All of it squandered now. Goodbye, new friend. For
That's
the
what
moment
you
in
get.
time that you were
He
here,
wasn't going to take Bucky.
you were
Bucky the Bucket.
magnificent.
I didn't want him in the first place, but now since I had a choice to pick him up, I picked him up, and then you want trying to take him away from me. Now it's different again. Bucky!
Stanley lifted the bucket into his arms, and a wave of comfort rushed over. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him.
Okay, we'll do
that
one
the
more
employee lounge
of
was
the
simply
endings,
the place
and
to be.
probably
And here it was.
like-
Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was no, never mind.
This time we're
bucket
going to do
was
the same
wrong.
one we did.
Stanley took the door.
But we're
on
gonna
his
put the
left
bucket
to
in
go
the
back,
bucket
and so the
destroyer.
two of
See
them
where that
detoured through the maintenance section and walked straight ahead to the opposite door.
Bzz, bzz.
Oh, good Stanley. I'm glad you found your way here. I knew you'd find this place eventually. You see, your friends and I are concerned for you, Stanley. We've come together here because we care about you
Just a
very
little
much.
bit further.
It's this bucket you're carrying around everywhere. The bucket
Here's the broom
isn't
closet.
even
See,
from the original
Bucky could have
Stanley
stayed
Parable.
right
It's
in
just
here.
sequel content.
But he
We're the
wouldn't-
ones that matter, Stanley. Classic
wouldn't do it.
characters from the first game, like the Adventure Line and the Broom Closet. Because that's what fans want from a sequel. They want more of their favorite jokes, not this bucket that they've never seen before.
Well, they've seen
Yes, I
Bucky,
know
and
I'm
now
the
they
one who
like
gave
Bucky,
you the
so...
bucket, but you're spending too much time with it. Don't you want another story involving the Adventure Line? We could make the Adventure Line go somewhere new. Yes, yes, that's what the fans want. Let's do it.
Yep. We'll follow it this time, and then...
Look at that wacky line. Who knows where it'll go off to next? Oh, and it played some silly music as well. Now this is what the Stanley Parable is all about. Don't you remember all those great jokes from the original dialogue? Also, Stanley is addicted to drugs and hookers.
Stanley is not.
It's as classic now as it was back then. Let's do it for the fans, Stanley. Let's give them more content exactly like this. But if we want to do that, you're going to have to give something up.
Fine. Rid of the bucket.
Don't you get it, Stanley? We need to get rid of the bucket. That's why I'm very proud to introduce a brand new character. This is the Bucket Destroyer.
Dun, 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 dun.
I think it'll make a wonderful new addition to the rich lore of the Stanley Parable. True, it also was not in the
shall
original
see.
game, but it's such a well-fleshed-out character with so much personality that to me it already feels as though it's been part of the cast all along. Don't you agree?
What is this, like a V6 engine?
Can you guess what the Bucket Destroyer does?
Just the...
Surely you don't need me to spell it out for you.
Oh, I thought there was an
Go
off
ahead
button.
now, Stanley. Say goodbye to the bucket, and then pop it into the machine when you're ready.
Bye, Bucky.
Now listen to me. It's crucial that you give it the bucket. I don't know what the Bucket Destroyer will do if it can't destroy your bucket. Destroying buckets is all it knows.
Fine.
That is its singular personality trait. Sure, I can hear you saying, how does a character with only one personality
trying to
trait
put the
deserve
bucket-
to join the pantheon of beloved Stanley Parable characters? Well, you
There's
see,
only like
if
two
you were
buttons
to
I can
really
push.
explore the bucket destroyer, you would see that its desire to crush buckets is so densely loaded with complexity and nuance that it's really like 10 personality traits. What other object in this game can you even say that about? The broom closet? Certainly not. I wonder what sort of bucket destroyer merchandise the fans will be clamoring for after
Wait, I wonder if we
this.
come back down here if we don't
Okay, the
have the
bucket
bucket.
destroyer is getting very upset now. You'll have to hurry and feed it. We can't get back to the classic Stanley Parable characters like the Adventure Line or the bucket destroyer until you crush that damn bucket. Quickly
I'm
now,
trying
the fans are waiting.
to.
Do it, the fans, Stanley. Give the fans what they want. Hurry and...
I tried. There's only one button I can push. Just begin the game again. Actually, no, because this is for until we end up finding like everything. It's almost kind of like an infinite loop type thing where there's a bunch of different endings, and it's at the 3 hour mark. So hit stream there as soon as oh this perfect way I stuff back track that yeah. Overall, the game's not that bad. It reminded me a little bit like Portal on how you had the narrator, the puzzles. It wasn't kind of like an infinite loop thing because in Portal, once you did the puzzles and you completed it, you went up to the next level. But it did have some of a similar play style. Not bad for a free game that was on PlayStation Plus, but not something I would actually pay money for. Just because these types of games, they're not bad for adventure games. Was an adventure simulation and a couple other things. Um, but overall, not bad. I'd give it like a 6 out of 10, somewhere in between there. The narrator did get a little bit quite annoying sometimes, but he was also a great character for the gameplay. He did have some jokes in there and everything. Uh, the different ways to get the different endings and everything like that wasn't bad. So yeah, overall, I'd say about a 6 out of 10. But those infinite loop games, because I looked online and it had like so many different ways to go and do through. I think there's like 20 some different endings. And if you don't end up going to a different one each time, you'll just run yourself in an infinite loop for a little bit. And that's kind of what I did. Still, overall, not a bad game. Not a bad game. But yeah, I did want to thank everyone who came out to hang out. I know I'm still a little bit under the weather, and you guys kind of heard me sniffling a couple times in between stream. I tried to mute so you guys didn't hear that because I know that's can be a little annoying. But let's see who's online, and we can. There's other people. Uh, let's see if Leslie's. Yeah, so let's do. Amanda's on. She's been on for a little while. She's just kind of yapping. She's been on for 5 hours just yapping. See if she. No. Well, so far, no. This one accepting some. Oh, Kathy's on. Daddy Kathy. Last time we rated her, she was playing what was it? Stardew Valley. Yeah. And now she's playing Dishonored. It looks pretty cool. It's been a while since I played that game. Yeah, she's pretty chill. She's on late night little set. She's been on for about an hour. Let's pump over, show her some love, say hi, and everything. Uh, you can put this raid command in there and everything. So when you go over, so yep. Tomorrow, I got a short day at work. I'm gonna figure out what time we're gonna. I was thinking about maybe do Resident Evil 4. Uh, for next to another game that is pretty good and everything. It's got a great story and everything. So I was thinking about doing that for the channel for a couple days and see how fast we can. I'll see how fast we can get through it, but guys get what I get. Yeah, I was thinking about that. That'll be about probably 7, 8 o'clock, depending ish. So I will post on my Twitter on any updates and stuff if anything changes and everything. So yeah, there you'll still see the all my socials and stuff are in chat, which are right over there. And then also if you enjoyed tonight and everything, hit that follow button down below. You'll get notifications on when I go live, especially like I said I upload all the VODs that I do for streams here on Twitch up onto the YouTube channel, which is still youtube.com/Vegas underscore. You can see all the past VODs there as well as on here before they get deleted after a week. So on YouTube, they'll be there for forever. On Twitch, they'll be here for about a week. So, but I will be uploading this as soon as we end stream, and then that'll be up on the YouTube channel. So we are going to go ahead and start the raid for Chatty Cathy and everything. So go over there, show her some love and everything, and I will see you guys tomorrow. See you later.
Passages and hiding places. Cool. There's also 3 runes and a bone charm to get. This one's pretty close. Think it. Raid from Veros. Welcome. How's it going? How is your stream? It is quest-based, yeah. I have missions to complete right now. So like I have targets. I'm an assassin basically now. We have to these are our targets. But there's also a really interesting part of the game where the more people you kill, the plague gets worse. The plague gets worse. So these like high profile targets, there's also a way to dispose of them without killing them. So doing like a run where you don't kill anybody would be interesting. Wait, this is like really pretty. Since I upgraded my blink, can I make it that far? Oh my god, I can. That is a long blink.
Just trying to make a living. I have to keep this position. He says to bring a bottle, I bring a bottle. He says to bring food, I bring food. He says to undress, I undress.
It's right there. Can I get into this building? Hello! 2 out of 5. Okay. That would have been 3 and 4. I did miss one. I did miss one then.
There's no proof. The rats
I should probably go back, right?
They're still just rats.
Stanley Parable? Nice. Ooh, Ultra Deluxe. Ooh, I don't know that one.